This right here is a code reader, and this is one of your best friends when you're buying a used vehicle. You can only assess a vehicle by what you hear and what you see. Besides this basically taps in to the brains of the vehicle and will tell you a lot more information. And if you do not have one of these when you're buying a used vehicle, I think that's crazy. This is a must-have for anyone that's looking to buy a used vehicle. So you take this little code reader right here, you plug it into the USB port, then you turn your key to the auxiliary. Once you get that, you're gonna hit enter. I'm gonna take a couple seconds here. Okay, so right here, it's gonna give you a little information showing there's no codes found, monitors are okay, but you're gonna wanna go to read codes, stored codes first. No codes are stored in this module. Now go to pending codes. No pending codes. So that's a good start. That's what you want to see, but that doesn't mean that's all you're supposed to look for. I'm going to show you right now one of the most important things to look for besides no codes. You're going to want to go to IAM readiness. You're going to look at all the monitors. It's going to show you if they're okay or incomplete or not active. If it's not active, that means it's not, you don't have to worry about those codes because they're not active for your car. So it's not something that's of concern to you. But you're going to want to go through these different codes. EVAP system, okay. So EVAP system is the one code in California that if it's incomplete, you can still pass smog. That's the one incomplete monitor out of all of them that you are allowed to have incomplete. Doesn't mean you don't have an issue, but an EVAP is a code that you can still pass smog if it's incomplete, and then you can figure out, what repair you need to make to get that EVAP code to go away. But the most important code you want to find on here is going to be the catalyst monitor. If that is incomplete when you go to look at a vehicle, it means one of two things. It means the person who's selling you the car either cleared the codes shortly before you came, or the battery was unplugged, or they put a new battery in shortly before you came. So that code takes a couple drive cycles typically to clear. And it depends on the vehicle. Some vehicles you have to drive them for 100 miles, some take 30 miles. You just have to drive them around, and then it'll go through the cycle and clear on its own. But if it's incomplete, you are taking a huge risk, because that could mean you have a bad cat. If you have a bad cat, depending on where you live, it could be a very expensive fix. Here in California, I had an older Tundra that had a bad cat, and the cat alone was $2,000. And that's not to mention what it costs to have a mechanic welded in for you. It could be a $3,000 or $4,000 fix, and so it's something you got to be completely aware of. Get one of these. I got this off of Amazon for like $40. It saved me a couple times when buying used vehicles. One time I went to look at a 98 Tacoma. The guy said everything was good. There was no check engine lights on. Everything looked great. I plugged this code reader in, and it showed me a misfire on a cylinder. So that could have been a potentially, blown engine. So get yourself one of these, use it. It'll pay itself off in the long run.